Multiple taxation is a major problem amongst telecom operators here in Nigeria. Now, as one of the major players in Nigeria's telecom space, what have you experienced?
The major concern is the manifest illegality that it perpetrates or it enshrines. For a company that is thinks very highly of corporate governance, it's really an issue. Because you make these payments or succumb to these demands which are illegal, you are compromising your legal rights. That's the starting point. And in terms of the subscribers, what happens is sometimes these sites are shut down. You cannot make a call, you cannot receive a call cannot be processed. It's not really because the operators decided to shut down the sites on account of the operator's negligence. It's just, most times will be because some MDA, personage of an MDA, ministry, department or agency of government, which has made this demand and which we have pointed out is not proper, now decides to use strong arm tactics to enforce the collection of those charges. So he goes down and shuts down the site or takes off the battery or something, or and then calls cannot be processed.
Telecom operators in Nigeria make a whole bunch of money. So what impact is this really having on your bottom line?
You see, it's not something you can quantify directly that way. You can be looking at losses occasioned by calls that are not processed. Yeah. Now, I made reference to some study that will be conducted, that should be conducted by the operators. The study will extrapolate or give some figures, detailed, some figures along those lines. How much is being lost? Revenue is being lost by operators on account of these sites that are shut down indiscriminately. That's one level. Now, we said also what you also need to consider is the brand image. That's also a negative for you. I mean, sites are shut down and subscribers say it's negative, Airtel is not doing enough, Airtel is exploitative. That impacts on the brand. So in terms of bottom line revenue and then brand equity, this incident impacts on.
The NCC did set up a committee to deal with this issue of multiple taxation. So far, what has been the outcome?
And awareness sessions have been stimulated. That's one. And the agency the industry working group has reached out to, I mentioned in my brief, some agency called Entraco in Imo State. The agency, the IWG, NCC representatives have reached out to Entraco to point out the impropriety of their acts. There are a myriad of such issues. I didn't really want to. There's also this agency in Osun State that's trying to emulate the Bauchi State exam. Take Bauchi State example, asking for adverts. Now I'll just clarify this a bit, amplify on this. The NCC says every mast tower that we have should be identified with a code number. So you have a mast that's servicing here should be identified with Airtel ABB 111, something like that. Now, the Osun State Signage and Adverts Agency says we should pay charges for that. That shouldn't be. So what has happened is we've had issues with that agency in that state, and then the NCC has actually been sitting in at the meetings we've had with them. So the industry working group is building momentum, and like I said, we are very sure it would do great things.
But what is Airtel doing as a company to deal with this problem?
Yes, one is get the buy-in of the minister of the parent ministry, so to speak, so if I can use the phrase, the Minister of Communication Technology. She will drive these matters at a certain level, at interministerial level. Then you'll have the NCC coming in now through the IWG, like you said, driving it at interparasital level, as similar agencies such as it. Now the operators also have a role to play. It would be very useful, ideal to have a blueprint, that highlights the socioeconomic benefits this industry has accrued, has offered, has provided to the country since inception, the industry in 2001, and then going forward, projections in that regard. That will help the minister and the NCC, in their engagement with relevant government agencies at state and local government level. So those are possibly. And then a critical element is that of the infrastructure that drives telecommunications, the base stations and the fiber should actually be contrived or should actually be declared accorded critical national infrastructure status. The same kind of importance they should have in the eye of government and the man on the streets as the oil pipeline and the NEPA pylon. So that would prevent a number of these agencies from going arbitrarily shutting down the base stations. That's the starting point.